In Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers remains unsigned, although he and Steelers star wideout DK Metcalf had a throwing session over the weekend at UCLA. Yesterday, the owner, Art Rooney, was asked about that and waiting for Rodgers to make a decision.
I would say it was a good sign that he wanted to do that, and when we keep hearing that, he's I guess headed in our direction, and so that seems to be all signs are positive so far. I'd say we feel pretty good about it.
Are you content to wait?
Well, not forever, but a little while longer.
Fascinating to watch. What Peter Schrager, your thoughts?
Fascinating to watch that man in that corner waiting on a player. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers, and for years they had a mantra: we don't even talk about free agents. Like, we don't even put that word out there. And players would run to a coach and run to play for them. That they've been put in this decision, they've kind of signed up for this. This is the dance they chose to dance, and that's because they didn't go heavy after Justin Fields. They didn't throw a ton of money at him. They could have probably really made a push there. They didn't even entertain Russell Wilson. Now you're in this situation, you're waiting on a 41-year-old player who last year missed the playoffs, and really his team underwhelmed in grand fashion, as I know my colleague here knows, and can talk about that at length. But you're now in April. The truth of the matter is, they were never going to dictate Aaron Rodgers' timeline. He still has the leverage on them because he can just say, you know what, I'm good, I'm going to retire. And they're waiting on him. So this is very uncomfortable for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And to see Mr. Rooney in that situation, standing there being like, that is uncomfortable for us as the media, because we've never seen that, Dan.
Yeah, you can sort of see under his expression, like, yeah, I'm not really happy about this, but my GM and my coach are telling me it's going to be okay, so I'm going to listen to them, and we'll wait as long as we need to. But, yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Look, you miss on Kenny Pickett in the first round, and it sets you back. They are now in a situation where they do not have quarterback figured out. They don't know when they're going to have quarterback figured out. Even if it's Aaron Rodgers, it's a one-year Band-Aid, right? So you're going to have to draft somebody and hope to get it right this time. But, I mean, look, interesting to talk about price, right? Like last year, we were lauding the Steelers for these bargain deals they got on Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. And I remember sitting here saying, a year from now, they could be looking at neither one of these guys was the answer, and they got to go do this all over again. If we're going to call the Dallas Cowboys cheap, I think we have to point out that the Pittsburgh Steelers are kind of trying to go cheap at the most important position. They could have outbid the Jets for Justin Fields. That wasn't a crazy contract. So, yeah, I think they're trying to find bargains in a situation where that doesn't tend to pay off.
So I believe they have put themselves in a position where there's no other alternative.
Yeah.
You look at the quarterback position, right? And the thing that's kind of enticing about Aaron Rodgers, you look at him going into year 21. He's only had 4 seasons where he's thrown double-digit interceptions. Now, 2 of those seasons happen to be the last 2 full seasons that he's played. But at the same time, life after Big Ben has not been peaches and cream for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, most certainly not. What should I read into? You're a receiver. What should I read into the fact that he and DK got together in L.A.?
Well, you don't just mysteriously, hey, DK Metcalf, out of all the people that happens to be in L.A., hey, DK, let's go throw, let's have it film. I don't know who was filming, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't just a bystander.
And just the 2 of them. Usually you'll get like 6 college guys out there, and you'll have a couple of no, it's just the 2 of them.
Are you suggesting that Aaron Rodgers did something for performative reasons? Like looking for attention?
Well, I would say this. It's a good sign if you're the Rooney family that these 2 are actually working out together. Because if you're Mr. Rooney, you want Aaron Rodgers to be your next quarterback.
Yeah, and we'll see what their future looks like. And with an eye on that, today's a good day for me because there's a new mock draft out. Young fielding, Field Yates has his mock draft 4.0. And if we look a ways down in it, you would see the Steelers taking a quarterback, number 21, Jackson Dart. At the top, as many others do, he has Cam Ward going number 1 to the Titans and Shedeur Sanders 3 to the Giants. This I find particularly interesting, and let's bring Field into this conversation here. Field, talk to me about Shedeur going 3 to the Giants. They've made the moves that we've seen, Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson. They have Tommy DeVito there. What's the thinking behind putting Shedeur at 3 to the Giants?
Yeah, we were just talking about this, Greeny, how the Pittsburgh Steelers last year added a couple of quarterbacks, and here they are, and it's already April, and they have no plan for 2025. So Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston both signed contracts that are certainly not reflective of guys that are sure bets to be your quarterback for maybe even a full season this year. And as a team, you don't plan on picking number 3 overall year in and year out. You can be just bad enough to be far enough removed from number 1 in the draft that you might miss out on a top quarterback prospect. The Giants learned that last year when they were at number 6 overall and tried to make a trade with the Patriots to get to number 3 overall, and the Patriots said, no, this Drake May guy is too good to bypass. So if the Giants are convicted on Shedeur Sanders, nothing they have done up to this point this offseason should hold them back from taking a player who could give them a chance to have a quarterback that could be theirs for the next decade. And I know that there are a lot of opinions on Shedeur Sanders. Mine is well stated. He's 16th overall on the big board. Let me just say this. We're in this era now where we're starting to see the haves and the have-nots with quarterback development. We have seen a lot of teams that have drafted quarterbacks high, done virtually nothing with them, and all of a sudden the second act of their career has become brilliant. Sam Darnold last season, who's now going to make a lot of money from the Seahawks. Baker Mayfield, we've seen Geno Smith in a much later phase of his career become a quality starter. I'd like to see some of these teams show that they have the goods to make these players, who may be imperfect, quality starters at the NFL level.
Do you believe the Giants will take Shedeur Sanders at 3?
I believe it's too soon to even say that. I know there's just 20 couple days left here, but Field Yates is right there. They haven't had their pro day yet. The Giants have not had a private workout with Shedeur
It's this
Sanders.
week, right? To be clear, it's this week?
Friday.
Yep.
They're going to have it, and it's one of the later pro days I could ever imagine, having it all the way on April 4th. But for anyone speculating that, like, it's right now the decision, it's still time to go. So do I believe they can take him? If they meet with him, if they have the private workout, they've seen him play, of course, and they've spoken to him at Colorado. But, like, if they fall in love with him, yeah, you can take him.
Yeah.
Sure, you could take him.
What were they saying at the owners' meetings? You were just
Feels
there.
like Joe Shane, Brian Daboll, when they talk about this, are trying to sort of prepare the fan base for the possibility that they don't go quarterback at number 3. Because, I mean, to Peter's point, that it may be undecided, but it's also not a slam dunk, right? They're not so sold on whoever the option, whether it's Shedeur Sanders, who the option is going to be there at 3, that it's like they don't have to worry about it. We're definitely going to do it. So Travis Hunter or Jalen Carter, who are viewed as
Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter, yeah.
Did I say Jalen?
Yeah.
If Jalen Carter,
that would be
they
nice.
should
They should
get
take
him.
him, yeah.
Abdul Carter viewed as franchise-changing players, and if you don't think that the quarterbacks available to you at 3 are, then maybe it makes more sense to wait and do it later. Get a Travis Hunter and be thrilled about that for the next
So,
decade.
Grinny, for me, it's simple. And Phil used the word conviction. I'm going to use the word that Peter loved. If the Giants organization fall in love with Shedeur Sanders, you draft him at number 3. Otherwise, you draft Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, whichever one is available.
Word.
Yeah, I think that there are a lot of people that are saying, hey, it's April 2nd. Obviously, the Giants don't love Shedeur Sanders because we know about it by now, right? Well, Peter mentioned the pro day, which is on Friday. I'll be there in Boulder, Colorado, which that could be a point in which the Giants fall in love. Also, while there are years in which you know who you love from the minute the guy declares for the draft, I'm just telling you, there are teams who have fallen in love with the player and then unfallen in love with that player and then fallen back in love with that player during the month of the draft. Stuff happens. I am always reminded of the 2021 NFL draft when the 49ers traded up to number 3 overall. We all thought Mac Jones is going to San Francisco. Well, he made it to San Francisco just 4 years later after stops in New England and also this past season in Jacksonville. Things can change even with just a few sort of relative hours left on the clock until April 24th.
Exactly. And while there are no hard, fast rules in anything, I would say if you change your mind 4 times about a player during a period of time in which he hasn't played a single game, you're probably getting the process wrong. Coming up, what a night in the NBA. 2 MVPs with unprecedented performances. The Chef, the Joker. You need to see this, and you will next. Get up.
Yo, what's going on, peoples? If you made it this far, we appreciate you. Welcome back to the channel. If you made it this far, you have made it to your sports moment, where we talk about what's going on around in the world of sports. I am your host, S. Dot, and we're going to talk about what's going on right now with Aaron Rodgers. So, Aaron Rodgers, he still hadn't signed with anyone. He got the Vikings reconsidering signing him to take, to let him go the same path that Brett Favre took. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, I feel like he's led the Steelers on this whole chase trying to get him to sign. And he's basically been stringing them along. I feel like Aaron Rodgers has been doing diva activity, you know what I mean? To the point where he got the Steelers owner and president, Art Rooney, out here looking like he he's desperate, looking like he has no other option and he needs Aaron Rodgers to sign with his squad. Man, your boy Alroni out here speaking about he's on pursuit of Aaron Rodgers, which means he's not going to give it up. And he quotes, he seems to be all signs of positive so far. Now, how positive can you be when you trying to hire some top talent, but they don't really want to be with your squad? You do everything you can to try to get him to come to your team, but he just won't sign. How positive can you be with a player who has went to the Jets, got injured, came back, and didn't do snit on the field to help the team out? And the very next year, you release him. I'm here to tell you, Art Roney, give it up. Move on. Find you another quarterback that's going to carry your team to the promised land. Aaron Rodgers ain't it. Aaron Rodgers wants to be with the Vikings. There's no reason out here for Aaron Rodgers to not sign with the Steelers right now. If he's really going to be with that team, he would have signed by now. If he's really going to be with that squad, he would have signed by now. He hasn't signed. He still has not signed. I don't know, man. Y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feel.
I mean, we keep hearing
How y'all
that,
feel about this whole
you know,
Aaron Rodgers
he's,
thing?
I guess headed in our
Y'all let me know in the
direction,
comments.
so
Tell me what y'all think about the whole situation. You think Aaron Rodgers is being a whole diva about the situation? You think Aaron Rodgers is handling this in the wrong manner? Or you think Aaron Rodgers is doing the right thing to wait out for the Vikings to reconsider and change their mind about him because he wants to take the same path that Brett Favre took? I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that. I think he got the Steelers in a position right now where they ain't got no choice. They have to sign Aaron Rodgers, or they feel like they have to rebuild. I think they feel like if they sign Aaron Rodgers, they don't have to do a whole rebuild, but if they do, they have to start from scratch. Tough position to be in as an organization in the NFL league, in the National Football League. Tough position to be in. I know our boys, Philadelphia Eagles, we got it going on. We got Howie Roseman, who is definitely the GM of the century. Your boy Howie Roseman, he be putting in that work from day one. Howie Roseman was putting in that work to get the squad back together before the Super Bowl ended. That's how you gotta be. You know what I mean? You got Peter Schrager out here talking about this is what the Steelers signed up for. I agree. To sit there and wait on Aaron Rodgers? Now they wait. This is the dance you're dancing is what Peter Schrager out here talking about. I totally agree with him. This is what you put yourself in. This is what you put yourself in the position to be had. You're waiting around for one player to make a decision on your whole organization, bro. You are the Steelers. Steeler fans, in the comments, let me know how y'all feel about this situation. Y'all think the whole situation is bogus and that your squad need to make changes? I mean, the Steelers have been around for a minute. The Steelers have made their impression in the National Football League with their championships. They have more than 3. You know what I'm saying? Come on, yo. I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling this at all. But I got one thing to say. That this right here is going to cause the Steelers to fall. They're going to fall. They're going to look like they're going to look like a high school football team scrambling to put a quarterback in a position so that they could at least be competitive in the league. I mean, this is a real man's game. This is not a joke. To be waiting on Aaron Rodgers is just crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? He obviously wants to go to the Vikings, but the Vikings don't want him. Now what do? You know what I'm saying? After the whole who was the quarterback? After the whole Big Ben retirement, the Steelers have looked like they are deer in headlights. They had to have known that Big Ben was going to retire someday, but to sit there and not have a backup plan, a contingency plan, doesn't sound like it's a organization that was run properly since Big Ben. They put their all in Big Ben, but they had to have known Big Ben was going to get old one day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, take an excerpt out of Howie Roseman's book, if you will, and get your shit together. How about that? You know what I'm saying? I got a question though. How in the world can you be the son of Deion Sanders, named Shador Sanders, but you are not looked at as a top 5 draft pick? That's insane to me. Deion Sanders is the greatest athlete in sports, period. His sons, because he got 2 of them, have shown that they can play at an elite level. How in the world can he be not considered a top 5 draft pick? Seems like there's a bunch of emotion in that. Seems like people are making their decision off of the cockiness of the family, the cockiness of the father. That's stupid. Make your decision off of his talent, what he did on the field, what he has done on the field, what he will do on the field, because you know he gonna ball out. This is crazy out here. Like I said, if y'all made it this far, I appreciate you making it to your sports moment. Don't forget to hit that like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe. And most of all, leave a comment. Let's have a discussion. I'm going to holler at y'all in the next round. Peace.